Hi everyone, welcome to the Stay Hungry podcast with Joel and Andy. Today we shall be talking about whether you need your own marketing agency or not. Andy, how you doing?
Very good, thank you. You?
Yeah.
I said very then. Damn. I should have said excellent, not very good.
Well, now that's answered the question, so that's good.
I'm on a mission to get rid of the word very in all our copywriting.
I've been better, I'm not going to lie. But the silver lining on the cloud is I've acquired a dog. I quite like dogs.
Do you know what you need to do, your dog now, your new dog?
Get it?
Isn't
some
it
Codebreak merch.
No. Oh. Isn't it just annoying when everyone tells you what to do with your pets, your children, your business, which is what we're going to be talking about today, because everyone has got an opinion when it comes to your marketing.
That's true. And yes, everyone has got an opinion when it comes to your dog. And
even when they're not dog owners.
I've had the dog 2 days and I've been told a number of things of what I should be doing with the dog. Bear in mind, my wife works for a zoo. If we can't handle an animal...
She keeps dogs in the zoo, isn't that cruel?
No. They have raccoon dogs. But, you know, you'd hope that we got a bit of a clue.
Wait till you have kids and you've got people without kids telling you what to do with your kids. That literally is the most annoying thing in the world.
Yeah. But do you reckon I've ever been that? But I try not to tell people what to do with their kids. I have a lot of opinions about it, but
very hard. Some people will listen, but some people don't even fucking think about telling me what to do with my children. It's very difficult with parents as well, because your own parents. So my mum will and my dad would tell me, oh, we didn't do this with you, Andrew. Oh, we didn't do this. Well, yes, they're your grandchildren. They're not your children. Not allowed to beat them with canes anymore. Not that my parents ever did that.
Yeah, it's a toughie, isn't it? It's a toughie.
It's especially if you let's say you have friends come around and their kids are shit. It's quite hard not to share your opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm at that stage in my life where all my friends have kids at the moment, like little ones.
Do you see less of them now through your choice?
No.
Really?
There's some nice kids amongst them.
You're a much better person than me. I remember when the first one out of our group had kids. Yeah, we definitely stayed away from him more because none of us, we were still in the sort of drinking, carousing stage of our lives. And we just weren't interested in stories about nappies and feeding.
Yeah. Here's a non-marketing question for you before we get deep into this.
Is it a marketing? Oh, it's a marketing podcast.
Yeah. So you've had dogs.
Yes.
You've always had dogs. And you've got children too. We're not planning on having children anytime soon. Not going there. But our friends have children. And our friends visit us. But now we've got a dog. What? Yeah.
Brilliant. Children deterrent. Fantastic. Tell all your friends. She's lovely. She bites now and then, but she's a lovely dog.
Yeah, really. Normally the face, yeah. No, what did you... So there must have been some nerves around when you started having children and you got dogs and how they were going to mix and... Or was it just fine? Or you just didn't cross your mind?
We just made sure we had nice dogs, really. I mean, obviously you can never tell with the dog and the nicest dog in the world if some little shit's there pulling its tail.
Exactly, yeah.
So we did have a friend come around with a kid and the kid was like chasing after the dog trying to pull its tail and we had to have stern words. But I tell you something, the mum got stroppy about it.
Did she?
She was like, "What? You don't talk to her like that. I'm trying to save your kid from getting bitten."
Because it's you that get the blame.
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, we're still walking him on the lead and everything at the moment, and it's very early days. But
it is difficult. But there are probably some parents who just wouldn't take children around to a home where there's a new dog. You know, if it's a dog you've had for 5 years, happy days. So I just look at it as a wonderful gift.
Okay. Right.
Come around and meet our vicious dog. Oh, you can't come. Oh, lovely. Even in front of Man in the High Castle with no kids screaming.
Okay.
Does it sound like I don't love my children?
You sound pretty miserable, yeah.
No, I know. It's you've got to be careful because again, the whole point of this particular podcast is about should you hire a marketing agency or freelance or whatever, or do it yourself? And it's tempting to do it yourself because everyone gives you all this advice. You think, oh, that's brilliant, I'll do it myself. Just like, again, children, pets, everyone's got an opinion because it has no impact on them. They'll tell you what to do with your dog because it will make no difference to their lives. So they could be right, they could be wrong. They just want to share their expertise in inverted commas.
Yeah. which is very relevant to what we're about to talk about. But I do have some exciting podcast news.
Oh, go on.
So, you may or may not know, obviously you know, but the audience may or may not know that we quite frequently have guests on our podcast. And we've had some really, really good guests, from people who are involved in the Grand Theft Auto series to people who are currently lighting up LinkedIn. And off the back of that, Codebreak has been approached, and we're going to have some really cool American entrepreneurs on our podcast.
Cool.
So,
wow, when's that all starting then?
Well, I'll find out today, actually.
Excellent. Word has spread.
So I suspect I'll be
stateside.
I'll be in here.
Can we get J-Lo on next?
Yeah, she was on the list.
And Queen Bey.
So I suspect I'll be in here at all hours recording podcasts at funny times of the night on Zoom, but some good content for the audience, I think.
Nice. That's really exciting news.
Yeah.
Awesome. We've got quite a few clients who pod now, but still, it is still relatively new, and most small to medium-sized businesses don't podcast. And to be honest, they probably haven't got the time to do it, or they wouldn't have the time to learn how to do it properly, and they run out of subjects to talk about. Whereas we can just talk shit for ages, couldn't we? Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Believe it or not,
I love it. For me, I find creating video content more difficult. I do it. I've probably done hundreds now, but the podcast, I think you can really get down to the nitty gritty of what people think and find out some really cool truths. And I really like the way you consume a podcast too, because obviously I do quite a lot of driving. Mm-hmm. It's easy to listen to them, and you could go all over the place. And I guess that flows into how you should handle your marketing too. So
I love it. Yeah, I listen to podcasts in the car now. Very rarely do I listen to music. Can't listen to a podcast when I'm running. Emma does do.
Does she? How does she concentrate?
Yeah. That's what I don't get either. How do you sort of absorb what they're saying?
Yeah, I don't really bother in the gym with the podcast either.
No, you want something pumping with a good beat.
Yeah, or something soothing.
So this is a Rich Roll again this morning. The David Goggins interview. I'm about halfway through David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me. Wow. If you ever find yourself making excuses for anything, read his book. Because he's literally had shit that 99% of people haven't had to put up with. And he talks about excuse, the mindset, and basically operating off the whole belief that people operate at no more than 40% of their potential. So it's all about tapping that 60% in reserve and stop with your bullshit excuses. He says that a lot.
Oh.
She'll say, "Oh, this happened to me as a kid." Stop it with your bullshit excuses. He's quite black and white.
I think there's something to be said about that. Obviously, if something's damaged you, it's a bit different. But if you're leaning on your excuses, there's a good book by a para-athlete called Steve Judge called "Don't Lean on Your Excuses." Okay. And he had a terrible car accident and ended up with his legs were very badly damaged, right. And so he became a para triathlete. Where prior to that he had no intention of doing that, and he just, rather than it being something that held him back, it's been something that's propelled him forward.
Wow. Yeah, Goggins talks a lot about he had an abusive father, a stepfather who was murdered. Poverty, developed a stutter, all this stuff. You really think this can't get any worse, and then something else happens. You think, holy shit! How the hell did you bounce back from that? Injured the first Navy SEALs, Bud's training, the Hell Week thing they call. Did he? I think it was the third time it did that, and that was his last time. They said to him, if you get injured again, you can't train again to become a SEAL.
David Goggins, the guy who used gaffer tape to strap up his snapped hamstring or something. Yeah, that's an interesting story. It's just he ain't going to be everyone's cup of tea, and again, nor does he want to be. But it's just interesting. And pods, it's just stuff you couldn't absorb, this kind of stuff just watching a video. I don't think. No, it gives you access to people you otherwise wouldn't be able to listen to in the same way. I mean, radio used to do it. You'd get some tremendous radio interviews back in the day, but I think podcast has kind of taken that mantle now, and sometimes really, really famous people say things that you don't expect them to say on a podcast, and I really enjoy that element of it.
Maybe we could become like the British equivalent of Rich Roll.
We're on our way.
Because it isn't just marketing we talk about. In fact, I don't think we talk about anything marketing related so far today. We will get onto it, I promise you. But our Thursday podcasts that we record, they're purely about mindsets, confidence, mental health stuff. Because again, all the tools and techniques in the world ain't any good if you haven't got the mindset to employ them.
Execute, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how many times do we hear about people, they spent thousands of pounds to go to some expo or seminar? Right, okay, well, tell me what you learned then, show me your notes, when are you going to implement it? Oh yeah, it's on my to-do list. And it's like, well, that was just a waste of money then, wasn't it? Knowing stuff is half the battle.
Absolutely. It's so true. And I guess in terms of doing your own marketing versus outsourcing it, not everybody can execute every day. We know that. Everyone has an off day. Sometimes you have a few off days. And the risk, I guess, when you decide to take on your marketing yourself is if you're having an off day, there's no one else there to pick up the pieces. Where one of the benefits of outsourcing to an agency, I guess, is maybe one of the agencies having an off day, but there's 6 or 7 other people there that can
yeah. And the people employed by that agency, I'm sure this won't always be the case. They got to love what they do. And the first thing I'll say to a business owner is considering doing their own marketing. And let's face it, there are some business owners out there who are awesome at their marketing. You got to love it. Most successful business owners or most ambitious business owners will realise how important marketing is. So let's park that one. Okay, let's assume everyone knows that marketing is important.
If you're listening to this podcast, chances are you understand the importance of marketing.
So you understand the importance of marketing, but how much do you love doing it? Because you've got to love it, otherwise you might as well do something else. So how much do you love your marketing? And then how much time are you willing to put aside to learning your craft and to continuously learn? Because it ain't a case of, right, done my marketing qualification, that's it now, I'm just going to implement. It's like, well, marketing changes pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Especially social media.
Well, more than daily, really. Yeah. Hourly sometimes. I mean, I'm looking in some Google accounts this morning and they don't look anything like they did last week.
Mm. You got to keep up. And if the answer to both those questions is right, how much do you love it and how much time are you willing to dedicate to continuously learn about it? If the answer like lots, happy days, fill your boots. If it isn't, you need to speak to a marketing agency or freelancer.
Yeah. And, to be fair, and you and I have both been in this position as well, it's not always possible to outsource your marketing. Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and figure out what kind of marketing you can do yourself. We've sweated
the hours and the shoe leather, haven't we? We're started up, no money, got to get out there, but you've got to do what it takes.
Yeah.
Even if it's free, will you put that time in?
And there's no shame in that. And I think the only side you have to kind of look at is, what is it that I'm passionate about? So if you're not passionate about marketing, let's say you're a car valeting business and you're just not passionate about marketing, you're passionate about making cars look beautiful, and the thing that makes you money is making the cars look beautiful, then the thing that you should be spending your time on, or your team should be spending their time on, is making the cars look beautiful. And that's a very good point in business where you should be looking to outsource the things that aren't the money generating exercise. So in that case, then you should be outsourcing your marketing. If you can't afford to do that, that's where you have to kind of trade off time.
And we know, do we, that all the people we dealt with over the years, there are those who view marketing as a cost / necessary evil, and those who look at marketing as an investment.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay, I can't really afford it at the moment, but if I make cutbacks in other areas, I could afford it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to scrim and save on everything to do your marketing, but it will involve time and money.
Yeah.
It usually needs both of those things. And if you haven't got the money, we know people who have, they've used their bounce back loans, for example, over lockdown. They're going to put a certain percentage of that towards their marketing. That's going to look after their marketing for the next year or whatever. But we've got others who we know
turned it off,
pissed it up against the wall.
Yeah.
Taking that bounce back loan and bloody going on holiday.
Yeah.
Me and you aren't going on holiday.
I literally know 2 examples of that. And
why is everyone fucking off to Greece? And okay, yes, it's safe-ish at the moment. But it's like, oh my God, it just wouldn't even cross my mind at the moment. I've promised the kids, we'll have some mini breaks in this country, but we're not going to be going abroad. We've got a business to run.
Say what you think, Andy.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, we know lots of business owners that have gone away, don't we? But yeah, it's not on my radar at the moment.
And then moaning. Moaning, self-house slashing. Oh my God. Has it been hard going to that 5-star hotel for a couple of weeks, is it? I pity you.
Did I tell you I said somebody on LinkedIn?
Oh,
privately, not publicly,
Oh, right,
because I'm
okay.
not mental. They were complaining that because they're in France, they're going to be quarantined when they get back. And I said, yeah, the 40-odd thousand people that died feel terrible for you.
Oh, yeah. Tell me who that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hard to feel sympathy for someone who's on holiday in a nice place, but they're moaning about, the ice.
You've got to, there's plenty of business owners I know and respect that are going abroad, but you've got to do it with your eyes wide open at the moment. If you go, you might be getting quarantined, or your holiday might be getting cancelled, or you might have to stay in your hotel the whole time you're there. And if you think otherwise, you're frankly a bit foolish.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to say use the word lucky for lockdown, but I got to spend loads of time with my wife and children, and we had loads of time together. Yeah, not going to the beach or anything, just enjoying proper quality time where the phone wasn't going off all the time. That's obviously something we learnt the hard way. And it was, so it's almost like, not that we don't need a holiday, but all that time together, really sort of appreciate what we have. And like you say, there's all these people who are bloody dying, getting ill, or you're losing loved ones, or your loved ones are suffering. Well, that hasn't happened to us, and fucking be thankful for it.
Yeah, you're a homebod anyway. You go on holiday and you get bored after 3 days.
Love what we do. Love our home, and I don't want to be a month away from work, to be honest. Enjoy it too much.
Yeah, I like my adventures, but I like my work too. So I do miss the opportunity to get away on something this year, but it's not worth it for us.
Something that's great for our clients. Like you say, they can go on holiday and their marketing still gets looked after. One of our guys could go on holiday, the client's marketing still gets looked after, because like you said, we're a team. So that is obviously an advantage of employing or outsourcing to an agency rather than a freelancer. As great as there are some good marketing freelancers out there, of course, that will be right for some, won't be right for others, especially if they want that off-the-clock support.
Yeah. There's no one size fits all with this. I'm happy to play devil's advocate on this podcast. It's in my interest to say everybody should outsource their marketing to a really hungry agency, but I'm not an idiot. That's not how the world works. Not how the cookie crumbles, so to speak. But if you want to free your business up so you can do whatever it is you're good at, marketing has got to be one of those things that you consider outsourcing. And that might be to a freelancer if that's all you can afford, and that's fine. And that comes with its positives and it comes with its negatives. So chances are they'll bend over backwards for your business because you'll be one of a handful of people they look after. But also when they get ill, you lose your marketing function. Or if something happens to them, you lose your marketing function. Or if a password goes missing, you're reliant on one person. Or if you fall out with them, you're in a bit of a scary spot.
Yeah, that's certainly happened to some of our guys.
Yeah. Not to say that can't happen with an agency, but with an agency, there's 3 or 4 people probably on your account. There's going to be systems in place. There's going to be password managers. There's going to be brand identity guidelines. There's going to be scope documents, various things. There's grades really, and there's doing it yourself, outsource it to a freelancer, use an agency, use a big city agency, television broadcast. Bloody, you can go ridiculous with it. But
yeah, absolutely. There'll be some people out there like don't want like a smaller agency. They want, like say, the big city players, which that could suit them fine.
Yeah. And it's, horses for courses or whatever. I've got loads of bloody daft phrases today, haven't I? But if you're a massive brand and you're looking for huge exposure, like a Go Compare or Compare the Market or something, chances are you probably would have to approach a massive agency and say that we want to do a mixed media, television, internet and cinema campaign. Please can you help? And they're the sort of agency that would have the experience to execute that. If you want to do like a direct response marketing, digital advertising campaign, you're probably going to have to find somebody like us that can kind of get down and dirty and get their teeth into it and get on with it and look at the numbers every day and put that time into it. If you want someone who's just going to keep your business in mind's eye, tick it over, run a couple of Facebook ads and put a few posts out, you're in freelancer territory. And you've really got to think about what it is you're trying to achieve. You know, we're helping our clients kind of from all angles, really. Very rarely now do we discount anything. We just say, this is what we're going to do. This is our philosophy. And it might be that we use an email funnel, or it might be that we use Facebook ads, or we might use Google display retargeting, or we might do a LinkedIn campaign. We might get some PR out to the press. But we're not going to sit here and say, well, we'll do 5 Facebook posts, a Facebook ad, a Google ad, and every 2 months we'll do some PR, because that's bollocks. It's we'll do what needs to be done to make whatever needs to happen in that time period.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, there's so many. I mean, we always talk about time because that's what so many people still undervalue. They think, oh, it didn't cost me anything, or oh, I got this for 10 quid. Yeah, but it like took you like 5 hours to like source that product for 10 quid, whereas you could have sourced one for 12 quid in like half an hour. And that time that you will never get back if you're there, you know, at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, working on a bloody Facebook ad campaign or going through marketing spreadsheets when you should be downstairs playing with your kids, having dinner with your kids. And God, do you really want to be doing that? And if that's the case, then happy days. If you want to be doing that, brilliant. Otherwise, just outsource it, get rid of it.
Hey, it's Georgia at Codebreak. Thanks for listening to the Stay Hungry podcast. If you're hungry for more, don't forget to check out all the free marketing content on codebreak.co.uk.
Haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, thought I'd try and press a different button today.
Our new creative manager.
Good one, Georgia.
Yeah, it's hard, the content, having that creativity, that's something definitely help, obviously, a lot of businesses with, because so much social media, they just post the same shit day in, day out, and there's got to be some of that spark. And I think, well, creativity, I think you've either got it or you haven't.
Yeah, I mean,
she's got it in the bucket load.
She has. There's a company locally, a big company. I'm not going to name any names, but I could almost set up a marketing meme Twitter feed for what they're putting out at the moment, and I know they're outsourcing their marketing too, and it's killing me. It's killing me to just watch it happen and to see this kind of pastiche crap they're putting out when I know what they're trying to achieve and I know what they're doing. It's just...
So what would you say if their client was actually delighted with everything? Because maybe they just, let's say they don't know any better. They just see this pretty stuff going out and think, saves me having to do it. Wonderful. Do you think at some point they'll realise, oh, hang on, it's not actually moving me towards my goals?
I don't know what their goals are, in all fairness.
Okay.
If their goals are to acquire new businesses locally for whatever they do, they're certainly not going to achieve them doing what they're doing now. If their goals are to look like they're having a poke at social media, and for their kind of oldie worldy historic clients to just see that they've got a presence ticking over, then maybe it's okay. But certainly, it's not output that we put out. No.
We talk about this a lot, don't we? About sometimes it just unfortunately isn't about the quality; it's about how you market it. And we talk about the numerous products over the years that have won out against better products, but they've won out because of better marketing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see all the glitter and the shiny baubles. That's brilliant. Oh, look at that website. Oh, it's wonderful. It looks so cool. Okay, that's great. But you told me you want to sell more of your shit.
Yeah.
Your website doesn't do that. It looks brilliant, but it doesn't move you towards it doesn't make the boat go faster.
Yeah. And I'm in conversation with a client about that at the moment. They won't mind me talking about it, but there are far too many clicks between where you land and the basket for what you purchase. Right. Looks beautiful, looks lovely, but the fact is that if you're asking people to make an effort, very unlikely.
I mean, we don't do it so much anymore, apart from some very key strategic clients. But we have done years and years of handling social media engagements for clients, haven't we? Literally Friday nights, weekends, Christmas Day, dealing with the great British public. And we just know that so many people literally can't be asked. I mean, I'd say, in fact, I've got a client that still look after personally now, at least once a day, a member of the public will go onto their Facebook and ask about price or ask about something, ask about a phone number that I would think most normal people would, I'll just go on their website, because surely a phone number on their website. They can't be asked. They're easier for them to be sat on the sofa on Facebook Messenger going, what time do you open? Or how much are you? Or what's your phone number?
Anyone who's in a Facebook group now will know that. There's those people out there that go, does anyone know the number for the doctors? Or does anyone know where I can get a newspaper? And it's like, hell's bells. Like, we've all got Google. Like, are you joking? But it's just the way people are. They want it served to them. They don't want to go and find it.
So how much you charge for a cut and blow dry Mr./Mrs. hairdresser? You know, it's no good replying to them saying all the prices are on our website. You'd literally have to paste in the web link for them.
Yeah.
I mean, a member of the public asked last week to this client of ours, and it literally was. You know when you think don't get wound up about it, they're not having a go at you.
You sound a bit wound up.
I just couldn't believe how lazy this person was. Wanted to know something that was on the website. So I sent them a link to the website. Now, stupid me, I didn't send them a link to the exact page where this information on, even though it was very obvious. They wrote back within seconds, I can't find it. And so it's like, oh my God, I was just shocked. So I wrote back with the exact web link. Here it is. Oh, wow.
It's in paragraph 3 of the third scroll.
Wow. I want to know more about your company. Here's a link to our website. Oh, sorry, I should have sent you the link to our about page, even though that's the second thing on the menu. But that's, here's me.
That's the rub, isn't it? That's the rub. Yeah.
That's the way it is. So you have to accommodate it. Unless a client, well, actually, I'm willing to run the risk of me not getting that business because of that lazy person. No, most clients are like, well, actually, I want to get them.
I want the lazy people.
Let's make it easy for them.
And that's what we're talking about, clicks to basket as well, isn't it? They might think you've got a good product, but you're making them make too much effort. So the less friction there is in the transaction, or the less friction there is in the interaction, or whatever it might be, a marketing agency like us would break that down to the simplest possible process. And as annoying as it can be for me and you sometimes when someone says, I can't find it, and then you think, oh, wish I'd just sent them the About Us link in the first place. But we might feed back to that client, do you know that you haven't got your contact details on every page on your website? And that's kind of how it works. It's very simple.
I mean, in case anyone thinks I'm being horrible or snobby, I'll tell you that I'm lazy as well. And my wife and I, at least once a week, will get to the payment part of a website to buy some stuff online, and we won't buy because they haven't got the PayPal option, because we don't want to have to get up, go and find our wallet or purse, get our credit card, come back into lounge to finish the transaction. We just want to be able to log on to PayPal and do it then.
You're a big PayPal user, are you?
Oh, massive, yeah.
Oh, okay. I save my card details on my phone.
No, don't do that.
But then you still have to know the 3-digit number.
I bet you know yours.
I think my wife knows mine.
Yeah, I don't even access some of our accounts. Only my wife has access. It's like, blimey. But she's probably a smart cookie. But yeah, it's like, really excited. I want to buy this product. I will pay the price. I'll even pay the delivery, although that gets my goat now. People expect free delivery. I want to pay for it. Oh, well, where's the little PayPal logo? Oh, it's got to be a credit card. And I think e-commerce businesses that don't have a PayPal option would be missing a trick, because it involves effort.
Yeah. Well, I think that about Apple Pay now and Google Pay. If you aren't thinking about implementing those options, you're missing a trick. I mean, I realise there's costs involved as well, and you've got to balance it up. Is it worth it? But
what would our business mentor say if we said that about? I know
cost of doing business.
Yeah.
Cost of doing business.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you sell a widget for £5 and the Apple Pay transaction costs you £1, I get why you may not offer that option.
And it's like 1% or 0.5% or 5p or something. It's
Yeah.
I mean, it's scary. I mean, if we look at all the direct debits we've got, the various software and apps that we subscribe to make us more effective and more efficient, to better help clients, you think, oh shit, that's quite a big Amex bill, really.
Yeah.
But if it's there to make you like, yeah, it's like you say, it's the cost of doing business. But we do lots of business owners out there, even like basically super rich ones, who if they can save 50p, they will live. I'm thinking about a friend of mine now who literally would walk an extra mile
to save 20p on a pint.
Yeah.
I've heard that story
Oh
before.
my God. It's like...
I think I've gone the other way, So that attitude, I very much used to be like, right, what's the best deal here? If I was looking for a holiday, it'd be like, right, my budget's 500 quid, so I'm going to get the best possible holiday I can for 500 quid. And I think that's a really disciplined way of managing your finances. Where now... And I'm probably not financially better off than I was then. It's just my mindset has changed. I'll literally sit there, and if I can't find anything better than 700 quid, I'm really making these figures up off the top of my head, I'll just go, right, I can't be asked for this anymore. I'll just pay that because I'm literally wasting... I could go and earn that money in the time I've spent pissing around doing this.
That's exactly how I look at it. We've probably paid over the odds here and there for stuff, but I know my friend will be sitting in the pub a mile further on down the road enjoying his pint more because he's there going, save myself 20p, whereas I'll be looking at I've
walked a mile.
I've wasted half an hour or whatever it takes to
do you know what it is for me? It's brain ache. It's the fact that I'm literally sat there applying. It's like work. I've made a job of it. Car insurance is one that gets me. You go on the comparison sites, and then it'll turn out that comparison site doesn't have all the options. So you've got another comparison site. And then by the time you've done it, you're probably 2 hours in and you've compared all these different things. And you get to the end and it turns out it doesn't include legal, doesn't include breakdown anyway. And when you add it all on, it was more than it was at the start. And for me, I was like, I'm going to fucking save myself the brain ache here. I'm just going to speak to my current insurer, tell them this is what I want to pay, see how close they can get. Job done, I can go and lie on the sofa.
I use an insurance broker, say locally as well, so I can pick up the phone and speak to Tracy if I want. Oh, God. And we've probably been with them for about 10 years. And we just get a letter saying, oh, this was the deal before. This is the new deal with a new supplier. Same cover. Like, brilliant. Let's just go for it. It's like my brother, Pete, sorry, if you're listening to this, he used to rent out a flat, as in like he owned it and rented it out to tenants. And the boiler packed up. And he basically just scoured the internet to find the cheapest boiler that would do the job of heating the water. And my dad was around at the time, and one of my dad's mottos always was penny wise, pound foolish. And to be honest, he probably got, like me, ripped off a few times as well, because he just couldn't be arsed spending hours shopping around for stuff. And Pete got the cheapest boiler, and what happened? It packed up within months. He had to spend £2,000 getting it fixed.
And I guess you personally, because I know you've got a flat in London doing a similar thing, you'll be on a boiler plan.
Yeah, our boiler. The boiler in the flat we rent out in London did pack up a few months ago. It's all sorted.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. To be honest, part of that is not anxiety. That's too serious a word for what I'm on about. But I'd be sat there
saving
thinking,
yourself anxiety.
Oh, I hope the boiler doesn't pack up. Oh, I've gone cheap on that boiler. Oh, I hope it doesn't pack up. But I guess maybe just wired differently.
And you know what I'm like. I'd be the opposite again. I'd buy the most expensive boiler, and I'd want a 10-year guarantee on it. And the day it does pack up, I would raise hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's weird time, isn't it? That time and money. It's something that people will debate about for ages. Oh, I did this marketing. It was free, and it worked for me. Happy days. But could you have paid someone to do it and saved yourself maybe the 5 hours it took you to get the outcome you wanted?
Yeah.
Because like some people like say, let's talk about networking, business networking when we're allowed to do it again. There's some people out there. Oh, it gets me business. It gets you business. Okay, that's brilliant. Let's add up how much time that networking club cost you over the year. Getting there, the 2 hours there, getting back, all that. Let's add that up over a year, and let's add up how much business that brought you in.
Before we merged as a company, how many times do you think you had that conversation or thought that about me?
Yeah, quite a few times. But then I grew my business off networking as well, or one of our businesses.
Oh,
it's great.
There's no shame in it at all.
But when you add up the hard maths of it, for some business it works very well. Happy days. For me, it's actually, I could probably bring in the same amount of business doing a leaflet campaign that would probably take me 2 hours.
The hard thing, so I in the first 3-4 years of business, my entire business was built on networking. I met you through networking, so but
I remember your shiny suit.
you need to stop mentioning that.
Have you still got the grey suit?
Not that one, no.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't fit anymore. I'm smaller.
Excellent.
Um,
Do you know sorry, another dad story. On their 25th or 40th? 25th. On their 25th wedding anniversary, it's their silver anniversary. They had a big dinner and lunch.
You're going to say he still fitted in his wedding suit?
He wore his wedding suit.
That is awesome.
That's like, well cool.
That
including the
is
shoes with
awesome.
lifts in.
Really?
Yeah. Cost them £100 in 1972 to get these shoes. Because they had these hidden little lifts.
Serious shoes, yeah.
Hidden little lifts in them.
Wow. That's cool.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Because most people, it's like, oh God, can't get into that suit now.
So networking.
Sorry, yes.
This is a really important thing about the kind of internal monologue you would have about outsourcing your marketing. So I don't do much face-to-face networking anymore, not like I did. I mean, I go to the opening of an envelope once. But a really kind of important conversation to have with yourself is, how much does it cost you to be a member of those clubs? How much does it cost you to attend? So your travel costs, the time in the car. How much time do you spend there? And what's that time worth in terms of either what could you earn elsewhere or what kind of business could you bring in elsewhere? And if you do the maths for that over a year, I mean, I think I did it for my networking, and it panned out. I was spending about £9,000 a year on networking at one point, which it's a big number, but it's.
So if that brought in 18 grand or whatever,
Well, you'd have to bring in quite a bit more than that, wouldn't it? I suppose that's the reality.
oh, you're just greedy, or
But if you think what you could do with that kind of money in terms of now a Facebook ad campaign, LinkedIn, Google, even leaflet drop.
That's a conversation we're having more and more with clients now. It's like not how much something costs. What else could you do that money?
Yeah.
And Facebook ads, not for everyone again, but okay. Well, you said that would cost you £100. Do you know what I could do with that £100 on Facebook ads?
Yeah.
And it's a hard argument at the moment.
And then, like, for me now, I've become much more about relationship marketing. So if I meet somebody on LinkedIn now and I think they've got something about them, I'll probably invite them on the podcast, or I'll get on the phone to them, or I'll literally say, should we meet for a coffee? And I'm kind of cutting the network requirement out. But that's not to say I didn't need the networking in the first place, because nobody would have known who I was. And so
We've still got contacts now who I love and rate, who we met through networking. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't right for us anymore. Tell me, free networking.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Because there are some free networking clubs out there. Obviously not meeting at the moment.
We go to one Thursday's free, isn't it?
I suppose so. Let's say traditional breakfast sort of
free networking. Yeah.
Probably a shit breakfast for a start, but there we go.
Or those evening ones, like the FSB type ones, they're a free network, aren't they? Named an organisation now, but tough. It really depends on your business.
Right.
It depends on your price point. It depends on what you're looking to achieve. If you're a fresh business, you don't know anybody in the business community, and you want to get yourself out there. And it could be you want to practice your pitch, or you want to hone your social skills. I mean, I started my business and I didn't know anybody in business, so it was a big benefit of networking for me was the fact that I would go and see how other people did it. Now I know in hindsight that 9 out of 10 of those people weren't doing a great job of networking, but I've met some stunning networkers on the way, people who attend these groups. They then arrange coffees with people, they follow up, they very good at referring other business, so they're not just networking for themselves. You know, the more you give, the more you get type mentality. If you can go to a free networking event with that mindset, you will get something out of it. If you're going to a free networking event with the mindset of, I need to sell my shit, you're not going to sell anything and everyone's going to be annoyed with you.
Pillaging for business.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't get me anything. It's a free networking club and you just stood up and just sold your shit. I mean, what do you expect?
We've had an example of this over the weekend, non-networking example. We were talking about this before, where we offer a free SEO report for people. There's no strings attached. I'll be entirely clear. The string is you end up in our email funnel, which you can unsubscribe from. So there's a loose string that you can snap quite quickly. Other than that, you get an SEO report that tells you your site speed, it'll tell you how your keywords are performing, it'll tell you how your competitors are doing, it'll tell you various, little technical tips and give you an overall score for your website.
I don't want to give that away anymore now. You've made it sound too... It's bloody good.
Yeah, it's great. And in some sort of weird scenario, anyway, we had some contact from somebody who couldn't understand why we hadn't quoted them to fix all the things our report said was wrong with their website. Well, because we're not pillaging for business. What we're doing, that's the start of our relationship. Maybe, 20 emails into our funnel, we might drop something about, oh, and by the way, we can help you with this. But at the beginning, we genuinely just want to help people.
Yeah.
That's
I wasn't happy with the free report.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Sometimes, and this is another debate that many business owners have a lot, is there are some people out there who, when something's free, they love it. You've got others who, when they see something's free, they attach no value to it. And sometimes as business owners, you want to give stuff away for free to hook people in, the whole Netflix model, and that's great.
Yeah.
But you've got to remember, there are definitely people out there who just, like Google My Business, that is an awesome tool to use for your search engine optimization, to make people, to get found more easily online, all that kinds of stuff. I know some business owners that haven't used it because it's free, they have attached no value to it. So they think, oh, it can't be that good, I'll get on it at some point.
But I guess Google Analytics, you don't go on your Google Analytics go, I've had no site traffic, so why aren't Google trying to sell me more traffic? It's really, really strange one. But same with networking. If you go to networking and just expect to pillage all the business from the room, and after two networking groups.
Oh, we know a ton of people like that, don't we? It's really embarrassing as well if it's a guest of yours you bring along. Oh, do you enjoy that then? Oh, bacon rolls, all right, but didn't get any business. It's like, did you not listen to everything I said about what networking's about?
How many people did you meet? How many relationships did you start?
How much stuff did you buy?
Yeah.
If you're saying no one bought off me, well, who did you buy off?
Yeah, that's a good approach to networking, is to think, right, my first 5 times I visit this networking group, I'm going to try and buy something each time. I bet you'll start seeing business come back if you took that approach.
Yeah, it's like the hashtag support local. We love local businesses, but you've also got to have a reason for whether you're local or not, for people to buy off you. Now, I'm not going to give you money purely because you're local. If you're double the price or you offer a shit service, I'm not obliged to give you business.
Hi, Emily at Codebreak. I just wanted to check if you've booked your discovery call with Andy or Joel yet. It's a free 20-minute chat to talk about your goals and how we can help you achieve them. Visit codebreak.co.uk to book.
Good one, Emily.
Nice one, Emily.
We have to stop commenting on these hats and be a bit more natural about it.
They're good though. They're all wearing ripped jeans, I think, today.
You sound really old every time you mention this.
I used to do that in the 80s, ripped jeans, I think.
Well, that's how old you are. It's come back round.
It's come back again.
Like everyone wears high tops.
Well, no, I'm old now because I just don't see the point of buying clothes that are only partially made. Isn't that terrible? It'll happen to you one day, Joel.
I'm having to watch it happen to you. But it hurts.
But I can't.
You brought a book to read to work today.
I can't turn up approaching 50 wearing ripped jeans. That'd just be.
I don't know. Now with your new haircut, I reckon you could get away with it.
Now I've got hair. Attempt to shave it all off. There was a programme called not Battle of the Bands. Oh, you might know it. It's where a guy goes and tries to reform old bands. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, that was quite recent, wasn't it?
Not like he tried to. I think a different program. We tried to reform the A Team. Obviously, part of George
and then he
Pepper.
did New Kids on the Block or something.
Yeah. So he did one, and I think it was not Spandau Ballet because they're still going, but I think it was Kajagoogoo or something.
Was this Justin Lee Collins? Obviously, he's disgraced now, isn't he? It was Justin Lee Collins,
I think it
wasn't
it? Yeah. And tried to get this band back together from the 80s, my era, and. Of course, these guys are all in their 50s and stuff now. And basically, they get the band back together to rehearse and they do a gig. Well, one of the guys from the band turned up. And so there he is in his mid-50s. And he was just dressed like he was back in the band in his 20s. What do you call those? Is it camo trousers with the big pockets on? Is it camo? Not canvas. Oh.
No. Oh.
Oh God, that's
really annoying me now. Why have you done that to us?
Converse.
They're not combat trousers. They're
combat trousers. That's it.
You mean like utility pants? Don't you?
Yeah,
combats.
But straps on and buckles, and it's like, oh my God, you're in your mid-50s, It's like there comes a point
You
where
wouldn't,
you have
you wouldn't
to...
have said that to Lemmy, though, would you?
Yeah, some people can get away with it. Lemmy could do it. Like, well, what was he when he died? In his 70s?
Yeah.
He could get away with it. This guy from Kajagoogoo.
I guess with Lemmy, though, he was never in fashion to be out of fashion. He's just Lemmy.
Yeah.
I'll set my own trend,
I find it quite hard watching the documentary about him.
The Netflix one.
Yeah, was it him and his son talking about a threesome they had with some groupie, and it's like,
That is weird.
yes. Do you know what you're saying? It's like, but yeah, there we go.
The podcast just reached a new depth.
And talking about threesomes with your dad, brilliant.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. The example I was going to use is of a band that have come back but seem to have aged well. Take That.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I saw a Take That video the other day. It was like Relight My Fire or something. But they're all in vests and weird trousers, and they like rip their shirts off halfway through. And obviously now Gary sat behind a piano.
Gary just literally looks like the trimmest, coolest man ever. And Robbie over lockdown, I was watching him do
He's back in shape.
Oh, God, yeah, doing really well, isn't he? And he was singing, we talked about this the other day, didn't we? The horn section, like all done remotely over Zoom and stuff. But yeah, grey hair, but he was looking really cool. And like you say, much cooler when he was 17 doing his like sort of Running Man in a string vest.
Yeah. But, well, it was probably cool at the time. We probably all thought it was cool.
I don't think string vests would have been cool. Actually, I did buy a vest after watching Die Hard for the first time.
You've got a 118 vest at the moment. I've seen you running in it.
Oh, yeah, it's well cool, that is. Oh, lots of underarm ventilation.
I wanted to just drive past and ask you for phone numbers. Do you know the number for the chippy?
Yeah, luckily the time we get up, we get no comedians driving on the road. They're all sensibly in bed.
Just me. Just tootling around. Do you know the number for this? No, sorry. We digress.
They still do that.
118?
You pay £5 or something
I
ridiculous.
don't know. I don't understand it. Google. But then I guess...
Do you remember direct inquiries? Same sort of thing. I suppose,
Talking
isn't
clock.
it? It's like a talking clock. Can you imagine that trying to explain that to my daughters now? You'd call the number up to ask for the...
Because you didn't know the time.
Is it still going, the talking
time
clock?
is surely not. I'm going to find out.
Oh, let's find out now. If it stopped, I bet it was recently.
There'll be no one in our office except me and you that knows what talking clock is. And I also remember that when Comic Relief used to come round, the voice of talking clock would be like Lenny Henry or something.
Talking clocks. But you don't wear a watch, do you? Do you?
No, I've got a phone.
Yeah, so lots of people don't wear watches now because they just always glued to their phone.
I love watches though.
I'm lost without mine. My Apple Watch. I mean, do all my fitness and stuff through it, and it's got my heart monitor on it.
Yeah.
It's invaluable now. The fitness app. Just love it. Whether I'm in the gym
Which
or
one?
running.
What's your go-to?
It's called Work Outdoors. So it's
Okay.
specifically for the Apple Watch. It's not an Apple product.
Okay.
But so it does your heart rate, all your splits. So you could say, right, I want to run for 5 minutes, jog for 2, walk for 1, run for...
And you can program that in.
Yeah. It's
That's
really
very
cool.
clever.
Really cool.
So I map my fitness, map my walk, map my ride.
Okay.
All under
You still
Armour.
riding your bike?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
asked that the other day, and I said, I don't know, because I know you're
Yeah.
a beast in the gym, but...
Couple of rides in a week on the bike, couple of sessions of the PT a week, and then I need to add in a couple of gym sessions. But,
And not eating, of course.
well,
Holy shit, I know what we haven't talked about. Sort of brought me onto the subject now of not eating. Watched Joker at the weekend.
have you?
Holy shit, not a comedy, is it?
Hang on. Right, here we go. So, someone else I know watched Joker at the weekend.
Oh, okay.
So my opinion on the Joker is it's a brilliant piece of cinema.
Yes.
That doesn't mean it's enjoyable viewing. Discuss.
Uncomfortable viewing, or do you mean you didn't really dig the story? It was just
I
the
think
substance.
the story's brilliant. I think the story's very, very good. And when you realise that it's not all real, wow, it's like...
Oh, the girl. Oh,
Yeah.
look, I mustn't say anything more than that, really. But
yeah, when you realise it's not all real and what he's actually done.
I think if Emma and I were still in our drinking days, I think we probably would have stopped about 20 minutes in. 20 minutes tends to be our... So, we're watching some series now that we gave up on before when we were drinking. And I must make clear, actually, we're just pissheads. Just
Man in the High
shit-faced all the time.
Castle, Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, both of them. I'm on episode 3 of Umbrella Academy now, still struggling sober.
I'm not finding it.
What episode are you in?
So we've watched the first 2 of season 1.
Yeah, so I'm on episode 3.
Yeah, nothing much is happening for me.
And that guy's totally getting on my tits.
Which one? They're all annoying.
The
I only like the tall one.
the guy with wearing the dress.
Oh, the one that loves drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to him more than any of them. To be
He's really winding me up.
Yeah, they're not likeable people. That's what I'm struggling with.
Quite like the big guy. He's quite
the big,
likeable,
yeah, I
isn't
just
he?
said like the tall guy, and I like the monkey.
Oh, the Talking Monkey. Actually, yes. When the Talking Monkey came in, that's when he gave up last. It's like
Right. Anyway,
the Joker.
Joker,
Sorry.
yeah.
Wow. God, no wonder he won an Oscar. But yeah, he lost £52 for that, which is sort of the link to what we talk about fitness and diet there. But unbelievable, absolutely. Robert De Niro, that scene. Holy shit, brilliant. But if it's rumoured that it is going to be his first ever sequel, a bit worried about that. But it was amazing. I can't remember the last time I was so impressed with a film, because you know me, usually I like.
I would have guessed that would have passed you by. Yeah, I just gone, because I remember you saw a film called Arrival that got loads of plaudits.
Oh, what a load of shit!
A few years ago, and obviously that's not the chirpiest.
Emma got called home by the school half an hour into that film. I wish I'd gone instead of her.
And I love it. So I would have said Joker could have fallen into that category for you.
Yeah,
but it's very much like Taxi Driver. Have you seen Taxi Driver?
Yeah,
it's not far removed. And Raging Bull, it's that kind of Scorsese.
What's the other? God, what's the Robert De Niro one? The King of Comedy?
Yeah.
But amazing.
And what's Michael Douglas film where he has
a meltdown?
Falling Down? Yeah. It's got a bit of that about it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. See, Alan Parker died.
No,
that's sad. So obviously, Fame, Bugsy Malone, Mississippi Burning, Life of David Gale, Commitments. Yeah, real. I mean, he's in his late 70s, I think, but that was a real shame. Have you seen Mississippi Burning yet?
No.
Yeah,
that's the one you keep telling me to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it might still be on Netflix, but that's just that's another one where it's like certainly ain't cheery, but wow. And I love Willem Dafoe anyway, and Gene Hackman.
There's Willem Dafoe. He's been in some shit films, but he's never.
What's a shit film?
He's ropey in Spider-Man. The Spider-Man.
Oh, the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
But he's always good. Willem Dafoe's always good. He's in a film called The Hunter, which I absolutely love, about a chap who's trying to find the last remaining Tasmanian tiger.
I haven't seen that.
Really
Is that a new one?
No, it's an old Australian film. Really good. Sam Neill's in it as well.
Oh, I love Sam Neill. Watched the first Jurassic Park with the kids the other day.
Yeah, they're two powerhouse actors in that film.
Oh, they're all coming back for the next Jurassic Park?
Yeah. Laura Dern, Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum. Told you the Jeff Goldblum story, haven't I?
With Hannah?
Yeah, my wife.
Yeah, the kids are well impressed about that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, they love him. But not as much as Joey Tribbiani. Holly's Blasting Friends, and she's on season 8 now.
I watched a Good Friends episode. This podcast, our summary better be good. Let's just say that. I watched a Good Friends episode the other day where Joey wears all of Chandler's clothes.
Oh, lunges.
And he says, could I be wearing any more clothes?
Yeah, Joey's Holly's favourite. Holly's 10, and there are some episodes that she shouldn't be watching really, but all her friends have watched it or are watching Friends. She comes in and goes, "What's porn?" I'm like, yes, I've forgotten about that episode. And then it turns out there's quite a few episodes, like when I think Phoebe's twin brother was a porn star, Chandler and Joey have free porn in their apartment, and but yeah, we were watching the episode together where Ross wears the leather trousers. Oh God, we were just.
There's a few episodes the same, because the Ross leather trousers episode and the Ross white teeth episodes,
and the Ross self tanning,
and the Ross sandwich episode.
Yeah. Like your colour. What number are you? I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah, we're short of an episode idea. What should we do? It's bully Ross for an episode.
But that leather. I almost said leather pants then. But the leather trousers. Yeah, just. But my kids say pants.
Yeah, Fergus says pants.
Yeah, a lot of her. Well, she said something. Holly said something American the other day. Taking out the trash, but I suppose we use trash on computers and.
But have you noticed Apple's changed trash to bin?
No, I didn't notice that.
Hover on your bin.
So just for the UK? Wow, that's interesting. Hey, what are we talking about?
Don't know. Something about whether you should outsource your marketing.
So outsource it to an agency just like us.
Outsource it as long as they don't just talk about films all day and trash. No, I think it depends what stage you're at with your business. But if it's going to make you more money to outsource it than it does to do it yourself, you've hit the point where you need to outsource it. And if doing it yourself is going to take your eye off the ball, again, you need to make that leap.
I mean, I know some people that literally have done. I mean, Emma and I, between us, pretty much did every aspect of the business when we first started out. So, the books, everything. Obviously, it's no good giving me the books. I wouldn't have a bloody clue where to start. So, if I was literally on my own, I'd have to outsource it. But I mean, a mistake a lot of businesses make is the first person they employ is like a salesperson.
Yeah.
Whereas generally speaking now, most of the successful SME owners, the first person, if they go back, the first person they'd employ would be an admin person. And you add up those little tasks, those £10 an hour tasks you're doing that take you off the big picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first person I hired was a salesperson.
Really? That's interesting.
Because I was just sick and tired of being out selling all the time. But then, of course, grew and realised that no one could sell your business like you
and
can.
you love it now.
Yeah.
But we sell in a very different way now.
Yeah, love the challenge. Love the creativity of marketing. I love how marketing is constantly evolving. But I always love the challenge of selling. I understand I love understanding more the psychology of people. And yeah, it's great. But if I didn't enjoy it, yeah, just get rid of it.
We watched Darren Brown last night.
Oh, 20 years of Darren Brown or
Yeah,
something.
so he was going over all of his, power of suggestion and stuff like that. And the amount of it that we use in our marketing techniques now, that, not unethical stuff, just the whole kind of listening for clues or for points of reference and then repeating it back to people and making sure that they know that you're listening and that you're interested. Incredible, just the depth you can go to with it. And he even, there's an example of an early Darren Brown where he drove to an ad agency, got a taxi for an ad agency, got their 2 execs,
The zoo one.
drove them through London and then asked them to pitch him an idea. And when they pitched the idea, he asked them to open the envelope he gave them at the start, and he'd drawn the same idea that they pitched him. And the power of suggestion, because all the things they'd gone past in the taxi. And he was like, off screen, when they weren't there reviewing it, he was like, you'd hope an advertising agency would understand the power of suggestion.
It's true though. How many
Brilliant.
salespeople don't listen? They just literally talk at you. They present all about themselves, about how long they've been established, how many offices they got across the UK, and the potential clients sat there going, "Well, how the fuck does this help me then?"
Yeah, your dad's phrase is the best one. I think that's my life motto now.
God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yeah, use them in that ratio.
I said it to my kids yesterday, and they were
Did
like,
you?
What do you mean?" So stop talking for a minute, because there's another quote, isn't there, about when you listen, you'll learn. If you talk, I don't know. Emma said it, and it's so true, because sometimes, one of my kids especially will just talk and talk and talk.
And I've found that with marketing. I find that with staff. I find that with business relationships, with personal relationships. If you give someone the opportunity to speak, you go a long way with that. And I think that's a cool skill in marketing, to find out what someone's real issues are, or to just build those relationships.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'd say most business owners, they probably get that wrong. I think it's all about like stuff that for us sounds like common sense. Like, I don't know, somebody's website, and it's like, oh yeah, we do this, we do that, and unless you know it, you won't think anything different, because that's what most people do. It's
Yeah.
like, well, okay, you might do this, you might do that, but what's in it for the person on your website who's looking to give their money to a business such as yourselves or one of your competitors? And all you're doing is going on about yourself.
Yeah,
It's
and it's hard because it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to appear passionate, and the reality is nobody gives a shit. They want to know that you know your stuff, and they want to know that you care, but they don't want to know how you're going to do it. And that's the mistake 99% of businesses make, that they're trying to tell people, well, our USP is because we do it this way, not that way. Well, if they both get to the same point, that's not a USP. No one gives a shit. And that's where you need to get to with your marketing, is actually, how do I portray the benefit to the client or the customer or the prospect without just banging on about myself all the time? And I mean, the way we do it as a marketing agency is we give a lot away. We give a tremendous amount of knowledge and expertise away.
That's probably a podcast in itself, isn't it? And I saw something similar on YouTube today about the content. And you're right. We give away a ton of free content. About some people, they give away so much free content, but don't really look at the longer picture. They just carry on giving out free content. It's like, well, you do need to earn a living as well. It's about making sure that the content you're putting out there is part of a strategy.
Yeah, I think that's it. And
Hate using that word.
Strategy.
Yeah.
We're very good at strategy.
I know. I know. It's just one of those terms that you think every marketer just talks about that when they want to sound important.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you break it down, whether you're doing your marketing yourself or using an agency, right, what's my goal? How am I going to get there? That's your strategy.
Yeah.
But you also have to be prepared to review that because things change. There's global pandemics, there's recessions, there's people ill, bloody law changes, whatever it might be, and you've got to be willing to flex.
So we know people who've written 57-page business plans. So, oh God, I just know that's just not me.
Yeah, I understand it if you go into the bank to ask for a loan. I get it. In terms of, if you can't do a business plan on a couple of pages, something's wrong with your plan.
Yeah. It's our proposals are, well, okay, I'm slightly biased, but I think are awesome. And they've got depth to them and they look cool, but they get to the heart of what a potential client wants. But I've seen proposals out there from other agencies that are literally War and Peace and hardly addressing at all the potential client's pain.
That's what gets me. That's what gets me is whether it's an agent, well, it doesn't matter if it's a solicitor, an agency, whatever. If you receive a proposal that is the same proposal everybody else gets, what's the point? That's not a proposal. If you've asked someone to build you an extension on your house and they gave you the same quote as they gave all the other houses they've been to see that year, and then it turns out every house you drive past has the same extension as you, you'd be mortified. And that's that's another podcast as well.
God, right, we need to write these down.
Right then, what's your summary? What if I'm thinking about doing all of our marketing myself, Andy, and what you're saying?
Okay. How much do you love marketing and how much time are you willing to dedicate to implementing it and continuing to learn? And if the answer isn't locked to both those questions, outsource it. Come and talk to us and we'll work out some options for you.
Yeah.
If the answer is locked and you love it and you've got someone in place who's running the day-to-day business operations for you, happy days. Be a marketer of your business. Yeah, fill your boots.
Cool.